We're on a Fez show. Earl was on the hot seat a little earlier. Earl, I think he handled it well.
I try to do my best, Ronnie.
Eastside Dave on the other side. You're back to getting a 0.
Oh.
How's everything going with your girlfriend?
Good. We're making steps. We're making steps towards happiness. She stayed over last night and maybe even tonight as well.
Are you doing any better with that jealousy thing that because she dated a little bit during that time that you guys were broken up?
No.
I know you had a pretty bad jealousy thing there going, right?
Yeah, no, I have to make, I just have to always assure myself that nothing happened intercourse-wise.
Right. As long as it's not intercourse, you're fine. Earl, would you say you're a jealous person as well?
No, not at all.
You're pretty okay about it?
Yeah, I mean, trust is like the foundation of any relationship, so if you're comfortable with
what happens when they break that trust? When they go in the opposite direction?
Then she's dead to me. If you violate the trust, no, I mean it happened to me recently where you just violated that trust. I want nothing to do with it.
All right, so this is always an interesting thing to me about jealousy, about trust, and all. What is breaking your trust, Earl? What do you think? Is there like a different thing between men and women? What about for you, Fez? You think that men and women view cheating differently?
Yeah, I think they totally do. I think for a man to consider his chick cheating, she actually has to go through with some sort of sexual act, whether it's oral or intercourse or whatever.
Right.
I think for a woman to consider her man cheating, her guy cheating, that it's much more of an emotional thing, like flirting.
Right.
Or even like, confiding in another woman, I think is considered cheating by women.
Well, I think that you're right about that. I think you're a little naive where you think a man is okay with your chick making out with another guy, and that's not cheating. What about for you, Earl?
That's cheating.
Yeah, that would be cheating, too. What about for you?
Second base, I mean, everyone's allowed to drunk and make out.
So you wouldn't have a problem with your girlfriend making out with a guy?
It would upset me quite a deal.
But that wouldn't be cheating to you.
I wouldn't classify that as cheating. Second base.
So if she makes out with a guy, she doesn't have to come home and tell you.
I mean, she has to tell me, and there's going to be lots of arguments. And
then that would be cheating.
No, because
then that would constitute cheating.
What it would enable me to do is then have, wonderful French makeout session with another chick.
Oh.
No, woman.
You use it saying, well, if this is good for you, it's good for me.
Exactly.
Yes, I can understand that part of it at all. But, Fez, I would differ with you on that. I mean, to me, jealousy is the worst thing in the world. But if you look over and you're at a party and your chick is in the corner talking real close to another guy you don't know, that fucking guy is going to be as pissed as a woman. That's the rule of thumb. Not all guys are that way, but they are going to see that of there's some kind of an intimate thing going on between them.
Do you think that runs fairly equal between men and women? Where my thought is women are going to get upset about that same scenario a lot more than a guy would.
No, my idea for a woman cheating on a man is her leaving the house. A man, I think as long as the balls don't slap the ass, I think if you save about an inch of the shaft at the end, why are you pounding her? Because that last inch, that's sacred. That's between a man and a woman. You're leaving, of course, you're going to bump it down by accident, but you're going to leave a little something for the wife. That's my own thing.
You could even probably say, as long as there's no ejaculation involved, it's kind of not cheating for a guy.
Yeah. So if your girlfriend doesn't have an orgasm, right? You wouldn't have a problem with that.
No, actually, I wouldn't. I don't think,
because she's never had one with you. I just Pitsy, what's your move on this?
I don't even like my chick talking to other guys.
You're a traditional guy, right?
Yeah, we're both Italian. I'm
Italian background.
Yeah,
and Italians are like, I don't want
the drop of a hat. Yeah.
I don't want you to even look at a guy, right?
Yeah.
Now you guys grew up in the neighborhood together.
No, we actually met at school. We lived on the same floor, but we kind of had the same background, so we drew us together.
What about for you? Are you allowed to go out, step out a little bit?
I mean, I go out, but I'm mostly the wingman now. I've been with my chick for 3 years, so
You don't want it.
No.
For you yourself, you've got the
fine,
perfect girl. You don't want any more.
Yeah. But I mean, if I see her talking to some dude, I'll fucking flip out.
You'll go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, that why you didn't bring her to the party we were at? That maybe that could have been like, hey, I don't want any of my coworkers
No,
or
I
anybody
think I didn't
know.
bring her to the party because she would have clung to me all night, and then I wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, she's that way.
Not
She's like,
that like she's not social, but she doesn't really know anyone from Ron and Fez or anything, so that's why she didn't come.
So you're so bad. You don't. If you did bring her, and then like you and I were having a conversation, you talk over and there's her and a listener, and they're at a bar. You'd be fucking pissed a little bit.
I would, but my boys would never let that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like they would always.
Your guys would keep an eye on that.
Exactly.
Surround her.
Yeah, and it works the same way.
So she's property. In a way, she represents
if you want to put it that way, but
Yeah.
I don't look at it that way.
Yeah, but in a way, it's like this belongs to me.
Yeah, but she does the same thing for me too, you know? Like if I'm talking with a chick just about something, I'll hear it once that girl leaves, you know? So
That is true. Sorry to interrupt, but I was just thinking because chicks are quite as jealous, if not more so.
Oh, absolutely.
At the McFadden's party, I was dancing with Stalker Patty, and Claire gave me the most evil eye. I couldn't possibly believe it. I'm saying this is Stalker Patty
because that's the only other woman that would date you out of that whole party. So that is her main competition for you. That's the only other woman you could get.
Let's face some facts, though. Stalker Patty is a man-eater. All right?
Here is Jimmy. Jimmy, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, it cuts a lot deeper when a woman cheats.
Why do you say that?
She won't have sex with a guy without an emotional attachment, whereas a guy will fucking eat old hag that hoves into his vision.
I know, but guess what? Not every woman is the same way. Not every woman is the same way. Believe it or not, there's a lot of housewives who ends up banging a fucking gardener or the pizza boy because they have the opportunity. And nothing
That's
else.
The thing, the cheating thing after before you get to the sex. I mean, the cheating's taking place when you're building that relationship up. So the betrayal happens before the sex ever happens.
So you see it that way.
Yeah.
All right. So, but all right. Thank you very much, buddy. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez.
I totally agree with him because the first girlfriend I ever had cheated on me,
In what way?
She has sex with another dude, just flat out, right? And
how's that funny?
I don't know, but
again, inappropriate laughter.
I just want to stop.
Didn't your girlfriend give a blowjob to another guy?
We were broken up at the time, people.
So you're laughing because somehow you're a bigger man than him?
I know, that was funny.
Like, how could this happen? You must not be a man. That's
What happened to me, Mr. B? You know that.
Let me go back to Pitsy. So, Pitsy, what
But
happened?
I think that also molded me the way I am with chicks now,
It
too,
hurt
because
you so
it
much.
fucked me up so much in the head, like, for like a year and a half, that, like, I was like, I'll never let this happen again, and that's why I kind of made such a tight leash on the chicks that I'm with.
It is true what you said there, tight leash, though. And that's like the more difficult thing because you're experiencing this jealousy feeling, which is really one of the worst feelings a person could have. And really the more infantile things that we can do. And some people, they don't even just do it with their chicks, they do it with their friends. Like, you went out, you didn't call me, like somehow you can't make those kind of moves.
Friend jealousy is the worst, the most annoying thing of all time. Like it's a whim, and you're going to a Yankees game with 3 tickets, and then because of that, your 2 other friends. Oh, you can't call me?
Right.
Well, the tickets fell into our lap. Yeah, but where was I the whole time?
I mean, when you know how stupid that feels, when you know how stupid it is when someone tries to fucking rein you in, why do you want to rein in another person? That's the problem. Would you want to be treated that way? Do you feel more loved, Pitsy, when she's jealous about you talking to someone?
In like a weird, twisted way, I do, because then I know deep down she really does love me, you know what I'm saying?
Is that love or is that a sense of ownership? You know?
I don't know. Like, when I tell people the way I am and the way we are, they think it's the worst relationship ever.
Right.
But for us, it's such a good relationship because that's how it is.
But it is limited. It doesn't mean that it's good. I'll give you an example. Fez and I, we've done this show together for a long time. A little while ago, somebody asked Fez about joining this project. A very fucking cool project, but they just asked Fez and not me. So Fez comes back with what do you think? I'm going to go, of course. I want you to do it because he's my partner. I love him. I wanted him to experience as many things there is to do in life. Mm-hmm. If I started going, no, you're only funny with me, I don't want you to do outside unless I'm in it, that would show how insecure I am about our relationship. So if you really care about a person and want them to be the best, why wouldn't you want them to experience other things?
There's a phrase, and it says, if you love them, set them free.
Why are you fucking bringing Sting songs up to me? We're adults here. We're trying to have a conversation.
Were we supposed to all stop at just your
and then what happens? What happens in that phrase from there?
If you love them, we will. Something about fields of gold.
We have to get more song lyrics.
Now, there's no Fields of Gold. That was a whole different song. But seriously, never interrupt me when I'm talking about something important with a T-shirt. That's craziness. No wonder your chick's blowing chefs. No wonder. Here's Steve. Steve, you're on Run Fest.
Yeah, man, my chick is crazy. She thinks if I watch porno, it's just like cheating on her.
I swear to God, I had a chick the same way one time. I'm reading a Playboy magazine. She comes in and starts screaming. I'm like, I'll fucking beat you with this thing like you were a puppy. Don't ever fucking come in yelling at me for what I'm doing. To me, there's...
If she thinks that's just as bad as cheating, at least now I know how pissed off she'll do if I go out and get a piece of strange ass.
But here's the thing. How fucking psycho. What is a bigger turnoff than someone telling you you can't do something? What could be fucking bigger?
I just, when Photoshop Mike came in, he had a crate of like 100 porno DVDs, so I took 15 of them home. And when they're littered all over my apartment usually, but when Westside comes over, I put them in the bottom of my hamper. And unfortunately, because she stayed over the last 3 or 4 days, she decided to use the hamper today.
Yeah.
All 15 of the porns she found, including the midget porn, which just absolutely infuriated her.
And
so
she went crazy?
She went nuts.
Is she listening now at home?
No, absolutely not. She's on an interview.
Because I got news for you. She's mad about that. You could bang this girl if you show up with 2 appetizers. That's where she is. A chef who can put together an antipasto is going to be able to fucking take her anally. And she's going to judge you by your porn?
He's whispering the specials in her ear.
Yeah.
Seabass.
I thought she would get a kick out of midget porn. And I actually had to come up with the worst excuse. I'm like, it's for the show. And she goes, well, why are you keeping in your hamper? I'm like, well, I want to keep them clean.
Here's, so you got to lie to her.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, sometimes I enjoy a little porn, why don't we watch together?
I was totally ashamed.
Why don't you just say that? Why don't we put it on and see what it is? It's kind of crazy. Let's take off our pants. Matt, you're on Fez.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Yeah.
You know, I'm listening to all of this. I'm listening to hearing everybody's sides of the story. So, you know what? I agree with everybody.
Yeah.
Because technically, it's all about control. First of all, if your girl's cheating on you, you're doing something wrong. You know, you're the one who should be taking control of the situation and making sure she's happy and not going to the point where she's going to cheat on you. Okay? There wouldn't be a lot of trust issues if you just took control and be the man you're supposed to be.
And by control, believe it or not, it means you got to give up some control. And it's more about like fucking self-control. And I'll tell you right now, when a woman is not jealous, she fucking runs the whole thing. Because you're like, what has she got that she's so confident? There's something fucking about confidence that's big. Now, if you can turn your man into some kind of crybaby screaming that I haven't had to store my porn in this hamper because Earl doesn't have enough closet space. I mean, look what you know what I'm saying, Fez? Look what she is doing to him. She's turning him into a child. Into an 8-year-old.
And how does he ever get back from that?
Appetizer. You gotta fucking come in there and say, here's today's special.
Fresh mozzarella.
I don't know if cheese sticks is going to be enough.
If she heard the term French mozzarella, she'd be rubbing her nipples right now. Listen. Are you sure she's not listening today?
I'm sure.
Because she'll start fucking crying and
but
then I'll
she's all about Penny Primavera.
Yeah.
That's what gets her.
I would feel bad, and I only mean this in a joking manner.
No,
I wouldn't want to hurt her.
He has to wear bow tie pasta to dress up for her.
Earl had to stand up. He was fucking laughing so hard.
It's so damn hot in there.
Earl,
you're the sauna in here.
Yeah, but you get a little jealous around women, huh?
Not jealous. Definitely a little insecure.
But you know, you were saying about this. If she crosses the line, we don't even know what the line is because no one will ever say to you, "No, I don't mind if you're talking to a woman, but you can't be 12 inches away. You have to be at least 14 inches away while you're talking." Now, in the meantime, if we're paying a fucking bill, if you got a bill every month that's worth fucking $4.35, you can't send them $4.33. They will smoke you over that. But something like this, we have no idea where the lines are at any time.
I think it's also like a body language issue. You could read body language after a while, and it's just sort of like very subtle things with the hands.
Absolutely.
And
all that stuff is true, but what does it really even mean? I'll give you, here's an example. Lost in Translation. Everybody loved that movie, right?
Yeah.
Everybody loved it?
Favorite.
Was he cheating on his wife?
Yes.
You think of it that way, Fez?
Yeah.
Although you said it had to go to a blowjob for a guy to consider it making out for a girl. So, and that didn't fit into that criteria.
Here's why. He would never, if you can't fess up to hanging out with somebody, then you're cheating on them. If he can't fess up to, I was at this little, restaurant with this chick, and then we went to a nightclub and everything like that, even if there's no making out, that's still cheating.
So you're cheating by having fucking porn at your house because you had to lie and make up the reason.
But I'm cheating with myself?
Yes, it's the same thing. No matter what happens, it's all about you. It's about your own personal experience, right? In that movie, can we agree both those people grew from that experience?
Right?
Yep.
If you love somebody, you don't want them to grow, to have things. It's the same thing I was talking about with Fez. That if he goes out and does other projects, it might come back here that we have a stronger show. Maybe he'll learn something, maybe something that he can come back and teach all the rest of us. So you want people to grow. If you really were Bill Murray's wife and you loved him, you would want him to have that experience that he had. Actually, you'd want him to go farther and nail her. And that's what I yelled at the end of the movie. I go, I cannot believe he didn't pay that off.
The thing with chicks is they think jerking off is a crime. They don't understand that we have to do it. With the whole porn thing, like, they don't get the concept of jerking off. They think, oh, I'm not good enough, blah, blah, blah. That's the shit that my girlfriend feeds me, too. And I'm like, it doesn't mean anything.
All right, just so you know, Pitsy, not all women are that way, but yours is. She doesn't even want, and it's just like Dave says, what am I, cheating with myself? Yeah. To her, she is.
Then I'm a serial adulterer if spanking is...
To some people, yes.
That's crazy.
I look at it different. I look at it that I'd rather be home jerking off. Would you rather have me home jerking off or being at a bar trying to pick up chicks? I'm getting my release at home, so I don't have to do it.
Or raping people.
But
I'd be raping everyone if I didn't spank it.
Please. You don't have the strength. That... I never want you to yell out, I would be raping people and think that you can continue working here, because they will stop you. They will come and take your card.
This just in, the clear rapist has struck again.
All right, but let's go back for a second here, Fez. Now, remember what Dave said. You have to be able to tell her honestly. Is Pitsy, every time he fucking runs a batch, supposed to call his girlfriend and say, look, I want you to know this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he should not have to.
You don't have any private moments in life. You are now, and I'm not saying you, Pitsy, I'm saying all of us, because there's a percentage of us that have the same exact relationship, or we've all been in that relationship where it's a little overly consuming, and he even admits he's just as much like this with her. They're both a little uncomfortable with the fact that they could lose the other person.
I also think it's the distance, because we live like 40 minutes away from each other, so we have to make it a point to go and see each other now.
Right.
It's not at school anymore. We don't live there anymore, so it's like now we have to set something up where back when we first met, it was like, oh, I'll just walk down the hall and I could see her. So it kind of grew in time with the separation.
Yeah, but then guys start to worry. Hey, she says she's going shopping. Where is she?
I can't think like that. I'll drive myself crazy.
The fucking guys will hire a PI. It happens all the time. And the PI will come back. She went to the mall and she got herself a pair of jeans.
But with spanking, I look at it more as cleaning yourself out. And you wouldn't call your chick every time you go to the bathroom. You do it number 2 or anything like that. And that's almost the same way I look at it. You're just getting the fluids and the
What is
the
coming
stuff
out of you?
But I mean, I think it's a pretty good point. It's more of a physical thing.
All right, here is Tara. Tara, you're on Fez.
Hi.
How are you, darling?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good.
You guys, I just want to say first off, you guys fucking crack me up. I love you guys.
Thanks.
The whole cheating thing, for girls, I don't know. For me, it's more or less, if you exchange bodily fluids with another person, I think you're cheating. But
so if there's a condom, there's no cheating?
Oh, no, because you still got spit.
All right, so if you don't kiss, you wear a condom, no cheating. And I know women that go, I would rather you banged her than made out with her. I know women that say that kind of stuff all the time.
Because then you wouldn't be banging a hooker, because a lot of times they don't kiss, and you always use a condom. So if you banged a hooker, would you consider that cheating, Tammy?
Tara. And Yeah, I'd still consider that cheating.
So
would.
your bodily fluids thing out the window. But
I normally kiss, so I guess I'd be screwed in that whole sense of the matter because that'd be it for me.
So you don't mind if he's touching other women touching him?
Well, I think it depends on the situation. I was listening to you guys talking about the intimacy and that stuff, and more or less, yeah, it all sucks.
Yeah, we do not. I mean, the reality of it is, we do not have a universal rule for it, which fucks us all up. And two, the whole thing is, it keeps us from being whole. It keeps us really from being. Thanks, Tara. It keeps us from being happy. The whole situation that we've set up for ourselves. Either we're unhappy or we make somebody else that we supposedly love unhappy. We limit them.
Dave, you can't be happy having to hide your midget porn in the hamper.
How do you think she feels? She can't go to a brunch without him being suspicious. Every buffet, she's going to be back in the kitchen like the old days, feet touching the ceiling.
If I see one of those hats, forget about it. I can't even watch Top Chef anymore on Bravo. She's ruined it because I keep still looking at her eyeing up at Harold.
What if you went to her house and you saw spatula there? Would you go fucking crazy?
Smoke was coming out of his ears when Vitaly was on the phone this morning.
Her idea of protection is using an apron.
Do you think Vitaly could get her in a heartbeat?
Probably. He's a master chef.
I don't. I think that big bastard could get anybody he ever wanted.
A chef and a redhead.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's right. He is.
Ooh. So add one. He's added to the cool redhead list.
Bruce, you're on Run Fez.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I believe we can all agree that you know when you feel guilty about something, right? In your own, in your own self. So I believe it's not cheating if you don't feel guilty about it. Even in the slightest bit, if you feel a little guilty, you know you cheated.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, I could go in and shoot everybody in a fucking convenience store and go home and have a lunch. That doesn't really work. It's really about the other person's feelings, not about you being able to pull it off.
Yeah, you can't go by remorse.
Yeah.
Some people don't feel remorse about anything.
What about in Europe where they're like, well, we expect the men to keep a chick on the side. The housewives are fine with it, Italy's that way, France. But over here we have what I now call the Earl rule. Cross the line, that ends it. Cross the line, there's no coming back. Is that the way it is for you, Pitsy? You found out your chick was with another guy?
Oh, that's it.
You'll never see her again.
I couldn't be the victim again, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'd played that role for a year, so I would be over it totally. She's done.
And you love her?
Yeah.
And she's one drunken experience away from never seeing you again and you never seeing her again?
Basically.
That quick.
But it holds the same true for me, too.
I understand. You guys have this gun up to each other's head. It's like fucking Quentin Tarantino. There's just guns. Everybody's pointing at each other. It's a Mexican standoff. We don't know what is going to happen. What about for you, Dave? Could you go back to your chick if you found out that she was with somebody else?
It depends on the act. I've not been an angel myself, so if she was just making out with the guy, that'd be fine. But if there were fingers and mouths involved, then it's over.
I cannot believe you and Fez have the same criteria that you would not be upset if she was making out with somebody.
Because just as you said, Mr. B, I mean, that we've 5 years or something, one drunken kiss, what if she thought the guy was me? I mean, if she's drunk, she might think she might be
Who's it going to be,
confused.
Clint Howard? Who is she going to think is you?
Casper.
All right, Bronx Johnny wants to throw in something here.
Boss, if a chick cheats on me, like, I'll fucking kill her, and then I have the dude that she cheated with help me bury her, and then I'll kill that motherfucker.
All right, so you've already come up with a plan. Yours is a double murder. Now, are you joking about that, Johnny, or do you 100% mean it?
I'm just kidding.
Okay, good. Because I was about to call the police, just to be sure. Here's Joey. Joey, you're on Run Fez.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, here's the thing. There's whores, okay? And I happen to be with one right now. And I know for the fact that she fucked somebody else a few weeks ago, but at the same time, I like fucking her enough to the point where I can deal with it.
So
because I'll fuck her best friend if I get the opportunity.
And you won't. But so you're like, that you married somebody, or are you married to her or just dating?
No, not married. Just
dating.
Fucking, I guess. Yeah, off and on for like 3 weeks.
And, all right, so that's really not a real relationship.
Well, it is, but it's not because she's such a whore, but at the same time, I don't care.
Right. Because you're John.
I'm going to continue fucking her.
All right, buddy.
Can I get her phone number?
Why is that? Would you cheat on your chick if you had the opportunity?
No. I mean, maybe if it was to Jolie, Angelina Jolie. You know, I mean, I think we have to be human. I mean, she would probably do it if it was Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise. I know she always says, "Oh, I hate Tom Cruise. I hate Tom Cruise."
She would do it with Emerald. Right now, let's face it. What am I talking about? She would do it for the fucking short order cook from Hojo's. Paul, you're on Run Fest.
Hey, boys, how you doing?
Now he's getting pissed.
He's so furious.
Well, once you mention Howard Johnson's, I mean, I just start thinking shortcakes and shit.
You know,
maple syrup. I can smell the fucking Hojo's chef on her now.
I would check her all the time for garlic. All right, here's Paul. Paul, you're on Run Fest.
How you doing, boys?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, once you understand that all women are basically insane, the key to a good relationship is finding your level of acceptance on what level of insanity that you can put up with.
Yeah, there is. I mean, you are looking for each other, and you're trying to get somebody that sees the world somewhat like you do. But again, you don't want to stop a person from growing. And I think that's what happens with I don't want you going out. I don't want you trying this stuff. Even though it's a little scary. Here's Eddie. Eddie, you're on Run Fest.
Hi.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's like a total freak. She actually picks up other girls for us to have three-ways with.
There's the answer to every exciting good thing in life. You're going to pick up...
You,
go ahead, Eddie.
She gives me business cards to hand out to girls I see in the street that I think she might like. She claims to not want any other dick, except, oddly enough, Robert Smith of The Cure for some reason.
Well, what woman could turn that down? Hold on. You're a big winner today. What's he winning, Fez?
He's picking up the Mel Brooks collection on DVD, courtesy of Fox Home Video. You get titles like Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, History of the World Part 1, High Anxiety, Robin Hood, Men in Tights, Silent Movie, To Be or Not to Be, and The 12 Chairs. That is in stores now. Hold on.
Here's Billy. Billy, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, I got two things. The first one I want to ask is this. I'm a senior at high school a number of years ago, and my girl has got her fucking this note from this other guy in her shoe who said to dump this loser and to go out with him. I consider that cheating. She fucking saved the note. She obviously was taking some consideration into that. Would you agree?
Well, first of all, you're in high school. You're just kids anyway. Very rare for people to really make that a long-term relationship. You know. I mean, if anything, I would tell kids in high school now, try to date other people. Don't get into that one thing. You're going to, end up doing that later in life. That's what I always laugh about. People who act like there's cheating when there's no long-term commitment anyway.
Well, here's the deal, though. This is kind of like My Name is Earl Karma, because after that happened, I went out and we... I banged her, and then I brought her home, and I broke up with her in a parking lot in front of her whole family get-together inside looking on, and the guy who wrote her the note, he died in a house fire about 3 months later.
All right, that's the best part of the story, that the guy burned up, and you're the big winner.
It's like the Bronx Johnny book of love.
He thinks that's karma. You pass a girl a note, and the universe burns you to death.
Joy in his voice.
Yeah.
He was burning alive.
Here's John. John, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, boys.
Yeah.
My wife had a bachelorette party, and they had a stripper. Everything was fine. The next weekend, I have a bachelor party. We go to a titty bar. I come home and tell her about it. She kicks me out of the house for a week and says that's cheating.
Yeah, some women are like that. Some women you can't... what about you, Pitsy? Could you go to a titty bar?
I don't tell her when I do go.
So you have to lie to her. Yeah. Now, this thing that's so important between the two of you is now filled with lies.
I don't tell her anymore.
Yeah, because that's what happens. You force people when you set up rules that they cannot follow. It's like communist Russia. You know what I mean? When they go, here are the rules. And you're like, okay, I can't have a Bible, I can't have this and that. Then people are going to be forced to break the laws. You have nothing else to do, because there is something like human nature. You got to go with it.
So isn't it going to be, like, let's say she finds out you've gone to a titty bar. It's going to just be even worse.
That's
if
what
she hears about it from some third party, right?
That's what she always says, but I mean, I'd rather hold off the aggravation and have fun than have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? That's my fucked up mentality, though.
No, you know what it is? It's a kid's mentality. It's the same mentality you had when you're 12, when your dad's like, are you smoking? You're like, no. Are you hanging down there? No. But then you do those things because you're drawn to them, part of which is because you're not allowed to do them. Part of which makes the excitement is the fact that it's a little taboo.
If you go to a strip club, that's fine. I mean, if you get like a few lap dances, then the chick should have a problem with it. But going to a strip club, having a few cocktails, watching chicks on the stage.
You're not allowed to watch porn. They're not even there, and you're not allowed to. Why would she be okay with you going to a titty bar?
The buffet?
Well, I would think as long as I'm not doing a lap dance, that's
You think
fine.
that, but have you asked her?
No.
Exactly. You know nothing about your own life. You don't know the rules that you live under.
Well, I'll ask her when I get home.
What about for her? You don't mind that she's making out with somebody?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me if I would mind if she went to a Chippendales place.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because you said you're okay with her making out. What if she goes to one of those places and they're making out with her and the guy in a G-string?
Oh, yeah. If he's making out with her in a G-string,
Yeah.
that's bad. Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
Here's what I want to do. I want to have her in here one day for a bachelorette party, right?
Yeah.
And you can't be here. I want you at your house on the phone.
Okay.
Listening to what we put her through.
I'd be totally up for that.
All right, I want you to talk to her about it when you get home.
But I have to choose the male strippers. That's
Why?
I want to make sure that no funny business goes on.
What kind of funny business could go on?
The Tom Cruise types, this and that.
You know any Scientologists in here? What are you talking about?
I know the dark hair. Yeah,
You're afraid that there's one that she would be attracted to.
I think I could spot her type. I really do. So
What's her type? The exact opposite of you? That's what you're making it sound like. Wouldn't you think that you would be her type?
Pigment.
Yeah.
She does like redheads. I did hear her say that, and she wants redhead children too. So
she ain't gonna have a fucking choice. She's with you.
I think she's teasing the retard.
Can he walk in a chef uniform?
I wouldn't mind that.
That'd be the best.
We will put up a buffet for her here, and I don't want her in tears.
All right, no pastas.
The last time she was here, it was difficult for all of us.
Oh yeah, it was
And then
difficult.
the next
for a
time
good
I
5
saw her, she started crying again.
No, she did.
Yes, she did.
Just one of those sushi tables where all the rolls and the sashimi are on her body.
Fucking starving now. We got any rolls and sashimi? I went out to my place last night, Fez. It's the best sushi I've ever eaten in my life, bar none.
I gotta get in there.
Bar none. I was over at this crazy thing that Earl set up to me with his Sky Lobby. Remember that yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
I go, all right, I had to go to a screening for a film that Sony was putting on, and I'm going, all right, where is it? What floor is it on? You know, where? He goes, 7th floor. But first you have to go to the Sky Lobby. And I'm like, what? Sky Lobby? And he just starts going like this. Yes, Sky Lobby. Sky Lobby. Like, everybody knows the term Sky Lobby. Like you said, strip mall. Why is it even a Sky Lobby? It's on the 1st floor.
I don't know. That's just the name they give it, and that's the only point of reference I have for
Getting into that building, they acted like I was getting on the shuttle. I all but took my shoes off to get into their building.
The Sky Lobby sounds like the bar at the Sky Dome in Toronto.
No, I'm not carrying anything in my briefcase. I don't like the idea that I got to open it up for people, though. Because he's like, I need you to open your briefcase. I go, you open yours, too. Let's all fucking sit here and show each other.
Yeah, it's like this was in the Capitol building.
I'm going, yeah. What am I going to possibly do? Bring in outside food? I'm going to a movie. What would I do here? And that place, it looks like Die Hard, Fez. That whole building, it looks like you could do Die Hard there.
What is that, the Yakatomi building?
Yeah, it's something like that. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Fez.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
Listen, I don't understand jealousy. I don't get it. My wife is a raving fucking psychopath when it comes to jealousy.
Right.
And I just don't get it.
It's the biggest turnoff in the world. I honestly believe that. For me, with a woman, whenever she asks, where were you? I mean, it's like when I had to open my fucking case yesterday. I don't like anybody going, I need you to do this. It fucking drives me nuts. No matter what it happens to be. So whatever you're doing, she's, what happens if you're out with other chicks?
Well, that's the thing. I don't go out with other chicks. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't cheat on her. I don't do anything.
You got to.
And yet she's still a psychopath. Like, even with, like, girls on TV,
Right.
I don't get it.
I know there are women like that. They're acting like, what are you watching? You're watching fucking a movie.
See, that's the slippery slope that starts, where it's like he starts out, he's following a certain amount of rules of hers. Then that's not good enough. Now he's at to the point where he doesn't look at women on TV. Still not enough, where before that would have been.
No, it's based on a mental illness. And what you're doing is jumping into their mental illness with them. And instead of going, you've got to be cool here. You're helping them get sicker and sicker and sicker. It's like helping somebody with their OCDs.
The worst thing when you're watching TV is when the girl is sitting next to you and she keeps asking you, is this girl pretty? Do you think this one's pretty?
Yeah.
Is that one pretty?
You know what? You got to have the kind of girl that you can say, I'd fuck her right now if I could. Jesus, look at that ass. And then you can live in a relationship and talk back and forth and be normal with each other.
Dave, do you even like your girlfriend? Every scenario is a nightmare.
I like her less and less the more I hear about her.
Love.
Yeah.
No, she was just asking me, is Kelly Pickler pretty? I'm not saying that she was being jealous. I'm saying
Right.
she was asking me.
But you felt like you were being set up.
No, my point is, yeah, it was in the back of my mind. Am I being set up or something? I did say I find her reasonably attractive. I always just keep it very plain generic.
Here's Jack. Jack, you're on Run of Fez.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I married a true Italian when I was in the military. And after that, I hired on with somebody else and traveled the world. She told me before I left the house, she said, hey, you're a man, take care of your needs.
What else are you going to do? I mean, the reality is, you've got no control over this person the other way. Pitsy's telling me him and his chick have this, and then he's going, no, I do go out with my friends. We do go to titty bars, so I lied to her. So that is a form of, you're now forced to lying no matter how you feel. It's just like if you actually are with another woman. Then you come home at night, what are you going to do? You smell your thing. So you act like I got home at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm taking a shower instead of coming to bed. I'm washing my clothes. And then you've got to tell your wife, oh, I shit myself. So you go back to bed. Let me take care of this. I don't want you to deal with it. And you're making up a crazy lie because you can't come home and say, I banged this chick. It was fucking off the hook. It was insane.
Yeah, I had this philosophy teacher who said that maybe we should just ban in America monogamy. That it should actually be banned.
Does it work?
And he said, how would that change things? And
Yeah.
it was quite an interesting discussion because I think in the end jealousy would be even more rampant. Because
In what way?
Because our jealousy would simply multiply. At least we're being jealous with one person. But if we're banging like crazy, we're going to just be
But you know what?
jealous.
Most of the time we're not even talking about banging. We're just talking about interacting.
When I found that kid that my girl, the first one, cheated on me,
Yeah.
I jumped on a moving car. I'm not even bullshitting you, to try to fucking catch a kid. Stuff like that would happen all the time.
Insanity.
Yeah, it would just be insane. Like, you don't even know what you're doing. You're not even in your body.
But
You're
you
just
were a
going crazy.
kid at the time, right?
Yeah, I was like 18.
All right, now you're more of a man.
Yeah.
But would you still want to knock a guy out who had nothing to do with you? You're not his friend. He meets a chick. It's between those two. It has nothing to do with you. Where do you get off coming over?
But what are you going to do with the chick? You got to get your aggression out somewhere. You can't do anything to
But
the
you
chick.
realize it's an insane act that you're doing.
I know.
This guy has nothing to do with your life. You're trying to go, I'll feel better if I beat up, in many ways, which is an innocent guy, because he didn't set out to fucking wreck your life. He is after his own fucking wants and desires. Now you're showing up, jumping on a moving car like a maniac because you get insane.
Yeah.
With jealousy. Jealousy is the worst feeling, and it's like being a little baby again. When you want something. There's no such thing as ownership over another person.
But I also think I would have eaten away inside if I didn't do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would have drove me even more crazy if I had the opportunity to do or say something and then I didn't get to do that.
Right. So you've brought somebody else into your pain. You're making somebody else who's not responsible part of your fucking
Well,
craziness.
he is responsible because he fucked her.
But that's his thing. It has nothing to do with you.
Well, then who's accountable? Because it's not me. And obviously it's her, but what am I going to do to her?
You would have to say two things. One, I can live with her being this way. Or two, I can't, and we got to go separate ways, and then you got to let it go.
Well, that's what I told my chick now. I was like, if you have the desire to be with somebody else, just break up with me first so I don't have to be put through that shit again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's fair. If you want to be with somebody else, just tell me before you do it. You know what I'm saying?
Honesty.
Yeah.
Now, were you thinking that when you were at the titty bar getting a fucking lap dance? Is that where this honest fucking thing popped into your head? Because these things are most of the time, when they're based on emotions, they're up for grabs anyway.
Yeah.
They're just going to happen.
I mean, I don't think the titty bar is a really bad place. Cause
you don't. She does.
But a lot more shit happens when girls go to bars like that than when guys do. Guys will fucking get thrown out by their necks there if something happens.
I'm going to guarantee you, I've gotten fucking my knob done in fucking titty bar.
Really?
I go, yeah.
Where?
Florida.
Oh.
I can give you the name, but...
Off the air?
Yeah, they're fucking sick places. So, I mean, it does happen. A lot of times she'll say, meet me in the fucking... See, none of you guys carry a package with it. When you have that, it's the fucking door open to everything.
I always try at strip clubs.
Yeah. Well, you're sitting there with $1. I got a fucking 8-ball. Who's she going to leave you? You know, she's got the same problem that a lot of people have.
The problem with Eastside Dave is he glows in a strip club.
But to get back to it, this is really about you, Pitsy. And in this case, it has nothing to do with she did something or this other guy did something. It's the way that you're feeling.
Yeah, I mean, from looking back on it now, I totally agree with that. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in that moment, and I was a kid, I was young and immature.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I react. Like today, I would just more be like, fuck it, I'll go find another chick. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the advice you would give that guy at 18.
Exactly.
This doesn't matter. And you got to feel that way, that I can either live with this or I can't, but I can't be sitting here trying to replay it, driving myself crazy.
And aren't you empowering her even more by acting that way? You know, just by like, hey, look, I could drive this guy absolutely, just get him into this crazy rage. Somehow it's empowering it a little bit for her that she can be with him, cheat, and...
You think that because, again, that's like you're the center of the fucking universe. And the reality of it is, it'd be like saying Pitsy, by going to that thing, is trying to make her fucking mad. When he's not. He's trying to have an experience with his buddies and have some fun. In her mind, if she starts thinking now, well, you know you were going to do that. He goes, I was hoping not to get caught. And that's really the honest thing. I don't think we really set up to hurt people that we love. I don't think any of us do that. I do think we got these crazy fucking rules that we just can't live with. Here's Steve. Steve, you're on Manifest.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Listen, the jealousy thing, that stems from insecurity. That's simple.
Yeah, it is insecurity.
If insecure, you're going to be jealous. And there's either reasons...
And see, that's why a non-jealous woman, a secure woman, owns the fucking world. Because you're like, what has she got that she can walk through here like a queen, like nothing bothers her?
I think the other thing with jealousy is that it's just so insatiable. Where it's like a jealous person is never going to be satisfied. The person that they're focusing the jealousy toward, they're never going to be able to feel special enough in their own mind to that person. It's just going to keep going and keep going.
It goes back to saying it's like a mental disorder, like the OCDs. When you're anorexic, you can't get skinny enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those really skinny people, they're freaked out thinking they're not. You know?
They can't see it.
Yeah, they cannot see it. So if you want to make up, Claire's with she's out now. She's going to have lunch. She's going to get hungry. Who works at these places? Chefs. What can she turn down? A chef. What is she doing right now?
She's probably eating.
Yeah, eating what?
Oh,
chefs.
Yes.
Fuck.
Chef boy on her knees.
Oh,
do that line again, because I don't think he got it.
Chef boy on her knees.
See that?
On her knees?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, but it's still clever.
No, Chef boy on his...
No, you're not going to change... He wants to rhyme and have fun with it. So we're not going to sit here and go, obviously it doesn't work logically. But it's still a witty little line. Unlike the N-bomb, which made you laugh for fucking 10 minutes. All right, we're going to take a break. We're right back. We're going to have Pitts put on a collar and be forced to be monitored by his chick, Ron and Fez Show.